and it's
Hello and welcome
perfect that
everyone to the
Bajaj looking
preview
at.
of.
ठीक है,
Sorry,
कोई नहीं होता है, कोई नहीं होता है, आगे बढ़ो.
नहीं नहीं क्या हुआ? I didn't hear you.
No, we went live and we were just looking at something else. कि हाँ भाई हाँ live हो जाओ.
नहीं, I was actually sharing the tweet so that people could tune in. But yeah,
Yeah.
the welcome. This is the kind of welcome that you get today. Not a very planned one, but Netherlands take on Afghanistan in what is a important fixture for both the teams. Afghanistan, if they win today, they keep their hopes alive of a semi-final spot. Netherlands, on the other hand, would want to win so that they also stay in the reckoning and make their chances of qualification for the 2025 Champions Trophy stronger after today. The game's in Lucknow, which I believe is the last game in Lucknow for this World Cup, and contrary to the expectations that were there before the World Cup, that it could be a slow pitch, it could be a pitch where batting could really be difficult or spinners could really enjoy themselves. The pitch has turned out to be all right, and that's really been a feature of this World Cup, in the sense that a lot of venues, they've not really behaved the way we have expected them to be. Whether it's Delhi, whether it's Lucknow, whether it's been Dharamshala. So it's been a feature of the venues this far, this World Cup, that the notions that teams have carried or spectators have had about the pitches, they've really been proven wrong. Uh, I have the points table for you guys here.
Yeah, and I think it's gone with the points table. But yeah, Anirudh, your thoughts on
Yeah,
the fixture and how crucial do you think Afghanistan spinners will be today? I mean, just that's the first battle that comes to my mind.
yeah,
And
definitely. As you can look at the points table, it's a very big very big clash in the context of two things. Like Gurkirat said, the semi-finals one and also the Champions Trophy. I guess if Afghanistan win today, they pretty much seal a spot in the Champions Trophy. Considering you can say it's unlikely England will win all three. It's also unlikely that Bangladesh can't go past them if they get to 4 wins. So
yeah,
you reckon that Afghanistan will seal Champions Trophy qualification if they win today, and if Netherlands win today, you also feel that they will be in a stronger position as compared to England. Compare when it comes to making the Champions Trophy, because England still have Australia and Pakistan to play, but Netherlands will enter the England clash already with 3 wins if they manage to win today, which means that
yeah,
all the pressure will be on England in that match if Netherlands manage to win today, and that match will
correct.
be pretty much be a shootout for the last Champions Trophy spot, if you can call it that.
Yeah,
But we'll focus on that match, if and when it happens.
yeah.
For now, let's shift our focus to today's encounter. We are just minutes away from the toss. So what do you? So Nikhil, let's say you're Afghanistan, you will win the toss. You win the toss, and you will bat or bowl first.
Bad,
Considering
bad.
what's happened in the
I'll
last two
bat.
games, you'll still bat.
I would. I'll still bat. The simple logic is Lucknow wicket has, I would say broken, but slowed down, and also there has been a lot of help under lights. And you have Fazal Faruqi, you have, Naveen may not bowl with a new ball, but you have Omarzai, who, thank you to the management as well. We've had some words of, positivity that there may be a game where he may bowl with a new ball. So maybe today is the day, and you can see he's giving all-round value as well. Players with 150 runs and 5 wickets. So it's a very handy and it's a very crucial spot that he occupies. That he's the batter who's batting at 5, and again 5 or 6 you can, depending on how they want to shore up that order with wicket at crucial times. So he could be very crucial, but bat first, get a big score, and then try and put Netherlands under pressure. Under lights. So I think that would be the way to go for me. We've seen that in the past in Lucknow as well, be it the South Africa game or the other game. And right on view, Netherlands win the toss and they have opted to bat. So not surprised one bit there.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
Yeah, and
this
from the
back,
pitch
so we
report,
take over now.
from, yeah, from the pitch report, Sean Pollock has said that it would be an advantage to bat first, and this is the same pitch or the same combination of a red and black soil pitch that was there for the Australia Sri Lanka game. Now Netherlands are batting first, and we have spoken enough about their struggles at the top of the order. We have some numbers here how their openers have really not been able to get any sort of runs. Vikramjit, barring that 50 in the first game, has struggled to add anything. I mean, 52 is his highest, and in the remaining games he's only scored 46 runs. Max O'Dowd has scored only 61 at an average of 10.2. So today you'd hope that is the day where at least one of them comes to form. Anirudh, you also had some points about how Max O'Dowd's really been struggling with a bowling with a particular bowling type. I just want you to explain it to the viewers now.
Yeah. So there's an interesting bit of information when it comes to the Netherlands openers. So in this World Cup so far, Max O'Dowd averages 4 against left arm pacers, and Vikramjit averages 7.8 against right arm pacers. So that is really the worst of both worlds. If you are an opening pair, you have the left hander struggling against the right armers and the right hander struggling against left armers. And Afghanistan do have a left armer in Faruqi and 2 right armers in Omarzai and Naveenul Haq. So make no mistake, they will be challenged up front. But again, this is a point I brought up. I think before the Sri Lanka match itself, if you remember, I said that they could contemplate changing their batting order. Maybe they can open with Wesley Baresi, given that he played a decent knock the other day, and then push either maybe Max O'Dowd down the order because he's been struggling against left arm pace. As you can see, maybe give him a
And
shot
that is
against his.
happening today. That is happening today because Vikramjit Singh has been dropped, and Edwards has said that Baresi will move to the top of the order. So right on cue,
Oh, nice.
that information
Thanks for
from you.
listening, Scott.
He's wearing orange for a reason.
Exactly.
And the other change is that Noor Ahmed has come in, and he's replacing Naveenul Haq. So what Nikhil has been asking for will also happen because that means Omarzai will
Martin.
probably share the new ball, or if not share the new ball, he'll at least be the first change bowler you expect. Once Faruqi is taken off the attack and Mujib opens with him. So good day for you guys in terms of finally getting your views validated. Must be a very good feeling, Nikhil, isn't it?
Uh,
I mean, what else we here for? It is exactly what you kind of envisage for the teams that you're wanting to follow. And again, it's not, of course, nothing personal, but it just tells you that you are also thinking on the right way in terms of what is the best for the side. And eventually, that is all that matters. It doesn't matter whether they do what Anirudh says or whether they do what you say. As long as they also feel that this is something that can add value to the side, then why not? And both those changes were logical. Because these numbers, he pointed out. And see, with the openers, I feel it's very important to get big knocks. There are many openers who will give you starts, but the point of an opener is you at least have to have one of them, like India has with Gill and Rohit, that one is going to look for an impact knock and the other is going to give you a long kind of innings. Same what Quinton is doing with his partners. So while Gavuma may be doing it unintentionally, but it is still happening. So that's what we expect. And with Noor, this could really be the game where Netherlands are tested with Noor because, a bowling lineup of this spin attack, something that they struggle against, they'll just have to be very smart in terms of how they plan their innings because the new ball will do a bit. So you expect Fazan and Azmat to, move the ball, but Mujib early on, that will be crucial. And what I feel is whenever Noor plays, we discussed in the last game as well, Rashid becomes even more lethal because then they know they can't go after Noor unless Noor earns in his life. So that makes them look to take on Rashid as well. And that's where I think Rashid comes into the game even more. So today could be the day one of Rashid or Noor ends up with a 4 for or a 5 for. Let's see.
Yeah, I
so
think.
it,
Go
it
ahead,
looks
Anirudh.
like
Go ahead.
it looks like Netherlands have replaced Vikramjit with Saqib Zulfikar, if I'm not wrong. So they have brought in a lower order batter slash all rounder for an opener.
Yeah.
I had an even wilder idea. I thought they could drop O'Dowd as well and open with someone like Teja, who they have dropped now, but that would have been just going for it all out. And if there's one team I wouldn't rule out doing such a drastic move, it's Netherlands, because they have shown how bold they are. But yeah, I agree with Nikhil, because the spin, they're going to be really tested. If you remember, Zampa bowled like 15 balls and he took like 4 wickets in Delhi.
Yeah.
And that was, he was a sole rest spinner in Australia. But you can, if you count Mujib being a mystery spinner as well, they have like almost 30 overs of proper spin to contend with. So look,
40.
Netherlands.
Navi will also bowl.
Yeah, no, no, of course. I mean, but I'm saying in terms of wrist spin and mystery
Yeah.
spin and
Yeah.
all those types. So Netherlands have the odds are against Netherlands completely. This will be a real test of their character and quality for sure.
Yeah, one question that I have to you, Anirudh, before I move on to the next segment, which will be the key battles. You mentioned about how Netherlands is one team from whom you could have expected something like Max O'Dowd being dropped, because they've been like that. Do you think a factor that allows them to do this is because they are not relatively a big team, so there aren't a lot of egos to be looked after in terms of player management? Do you think that might have been a factor somewhere, which allows them to maybe uh, chop and change players easily depending upon the conditions and form, etc., etc.?
Yeah, I mean, there's no doubt, because you look at their squad, even someone like Teja, right? For he was one of their key players in the World Cup qualifiers, and there was a lot of focus surrounding him as well, the X factor he brings and all that. But they dropped him after like what, 4 5 matches, because he was not able to provide the impact down the order. And they've been, I think, again, they dropped Beresi first of all. Beresi did not even though he's one of their senior most players, he did not really start the World Cup, and they've brought him in now after realizing that they needed a change. So for sure, it's refreshing to say the least. And also, like, they are a very tactically sound team. Even Max Odo has talked about it in several interviews and podcasts. You saw against South Africa how they were not afraid to bowl Ackerman and Aryan Dutt from with the new ball from both ends. Do you think any other team would do it in this World Cup? Do you think any other team would open with two off spinners, even though the underlights that too? In a venue like Dharamshala, even though convention tells you that, oh, you have to definitely bowl seam or whatever. So, and also this, it's not just about making these changes. They believe it is the right move as well, because it's not like they are saying, okay, this piece of paper says that we have to do this, so let's do it. They actually believe that this is their way to success. They believe that this is the best way of winning. They believe that this gives them an edge over certain other sides who are probably reliant on more of their instincts or guts or whatever. But Netherlands believe that we can tactically outwit most teams and make up for some of the quality we don't have through our brains. So that has been very one of the key reasons for their success. And we'll see. Still, when it comes to facing spin, right? You can't tactically outwit Rashid Khan. You have to basically play out him through your skill. So that's where they'll be tested today.
So, to all the viewers who are there, Anirudh mentioned about what Netherlands do to tactically get an edge over their opponents. Similarly, what we need to sort of outweigh or get ahead of our competitors is a number of likes on the videos, because that really helps us reach out to a wider audience and to reach out better to those who have already subscribed to our channel. So please like this video and do subscribe to cricket.com. And now I'll move on to the next section of this preview, which is the key battles. Nikhil, coming to you, key battles for today. Which battle do you think would probably make or break the game for both the teams? Could be even two, because there are two innings. So go ahead.
I feel with so many right-handed batters and all the spin that is going to happen. I feel Fazalak's new ball spell will be very, very crucial. Anirudh touched upon the numbers as well for people versus left arm pace. So that will definitely be a factor that will play out because it will ensure that the spinners are going then bowling to their strengths and they are not worried. And because he added the openers numbers, even Baz the lead has an average of 10 versus left arm pace. So if Fazalak is able to run through the top order, that would really just set it up for the spinners to just come in and gobble them up. But that's where I expect the likes of Engelbrecht and Scott Edwards to really hold the fort for Netherlands today. So that could really be a battle to watch out for. That if Fazalak does the damage early on, how does Engelbrecht and Scott Edwards play out versus Noor Ahmed? Because it was these two who played well in the last game as well. That was there here. So that those two battles are something that I'm looking for. And until it's again Paul Van Meekeren not leaving the stumps, using the I don't know. I think we should call it the Shami length best. So I'm very keen to see how Paul Van Meekeren goes in the second game.
Anirudh, coming to you, what are your key battles for today?
I mean, see, I personally would prefer or would love to see Netherlands promote Scott Edwards today. If there is one match where he needs to be batting up the order, I feel it's today. And I also looked at certain numbers before the match, and he's the only Netherlands batter who's never been dismissed by Rashid Khan in ODIs. I don't think they have faced each other in T20As anyway. And what it does is that it gives them a solid base in the middle order. If Edwards can push him up to at least 5, let's say, then you have Delete, Ackerman, Edwards, and Engelbrecht. And Engelbrecht, by the way, in this World Cup, has he has an average of 70 plus against spin, even though his strike rate is on the is it around like 60 or 70. He's actually been pretty solid against spin so far. So if somehow Edwards can score a runner ball 45, runner ball 50, coming in at 5 or 4, I think that will go a long way in setting up the innings for Netherlands, because I feel that anything over 200, Netherlands will believe that they can defend it. I know Afghanistan have easily chased down 2 targets against, probably you can say superior sides, but it's I have no doubt that at a venue like Lucknow, in the form their pacers also are in, not just the spinners, Netherlands will believe they can defend anything over like 225, 230. So Edwards promotion, and hopefully he takes on the Afghanistan spinners.
Yeah, it's good that you mentioned Engelbrecht, because he had a very good 70 versus Sri Lanka, where again he had to resurrect the innings when I think it was 91 for 6 for Netherlands. Another player who played a part in that resurrection was Logan Van Beek, and we have his bowling numbers as well over here in the graphic, that he's picked up wickets in pretty much all the phases. Nikhil, what coming to you? What do you think is working out for him? What is it that he's doing which is allowing him to take these wickets in all three phases of the game?
See, I'll honestly say it's first a combination, and it's some excellent captaincy from Scott Edwards. And we talked about this in the previous Netherlands fixture as well. That with Netherlands, you often see them make a change, and you see that change working immediately, and that is just a hallmark of great effort being put behind the scenes, because it's not random. It's not happening for the sake of it. So you see them using the new ball also very well. That some days it's both Aaron Dutt and Conor Ackerman. Conor Ackerman bowls one over and then goes off. So they are very, very meticulous in terms of, okay, Aaron isn't hitting the length that he has to. Let's get him out. Who is the plan B? Then the plan B comes in. So I think with Logan Van Beek, he's loved bowling to left-handed batters, which is, again, you can, if you put deeper into those numbers, you will see he's probably done better there. And also that every Netherlands bowler you see, you hardly see them give any width. And that is really astonishing, but also a great fact about the side, that they are very strong on their basics. So if they are very quick to correct their lengths, which is great to see. And then their plans are such that they are hitting side best possible. You see, Aaron that keeps runs down, you can't take him out. Colin Ackerman is rarely giving you anything to play with. So you can play him out, but you are not getting out to him. All the Mikran is getting uneven bounce, and he's bowling a good short ball. So you see, there are like three players तो आपके यहीं हो गए, जहाँ पे there is no let up, and then you get in Bazilid and Logan. And I think the only times I felt frustrated with Bazilid is he's the one guy who I have found has lost his length a bit in terms of giving away boundaries, and that can happen. It can happen with Paul Van Beek as well. It can happen with Logan Van Beek as well. But that's just the only place where you feel, and that is a high expectation also. Just don't give those boundaries because otherwise they're not giving much away, and that's just a great sign as a bowling unit.
Yeah, Vasant has come in, and he's said that he gets what I feel whenever I have to ask for these likes. So please, guys, listen to Vasant if you don't want to listen to me. But yeah, please do like the video. I'll now move on to the next segment of the show, which is the X Factors post, which we'll be taking some questions. A few cheeky comments have also come in, which are not really related to today's game, but we'll still take them. But for now, moving on to the X Factors. Anirudh, coming to you first, because Nikhil was the last person who spoke before we did this section. So your X Factors for today.
Oof. Obvious choice for Afghanistan. I'm going Rashid Khan, especially because you saw Netherlands struggle against leg spin in the qualifiers as well, like what Hasaranga was able to do to them, what Zampa did to them in the Australia match just a week ago. And I just feel that if Rashid hits his mark, it will be very difficult for Netherlands to play him. For Netherlands, I am gonna go with Colin Ackerman. Actually, I feel that he has one big knock in him. I feel today could be the day. I just feel that he's been threatening to go big like multiple times. He's got those 20s and 30s while looking really good, and then he's kind of thrown his wicket away. But I feel that Ackerman could actually go and get a 75-80 today if all goes well. So I'm banking on Colin Ackerman for the Dutch.
Nikhil, your X Factors?
Very straightforward, Noor Ahmed. I mean, it's just I was just waiting for that change to happen, and again, same reasons that Anirudh said. Not something that most teams are used to playing, and again, he's going to bowl first. Again, they use him well. That's the first concern, and it's a good thing that they have done so far, that they've used him well in very attacking manner. And as Anirudh pointed out, these are the kind of bowlers who end up picking wickets in bunches, and that's what I'm looking for in terms of impact as well from Noor. So Noor, and I don't know whether Rashid Khan qualifies as X Factor or not, but okay, will we give one to Paji, we'll give one to Anirudh also. And the second pick is actually something, at least someone I felt very strongly since yesterday. We talked about him a while back. Is Anirudh. I think today would really be the day we see the best of him with the bat. Again, not wanting to, of course, I don't have the power to jinx. Otherwise, there would have been a lot more happening. But given his composure and given where he's slated to come in, I'm expecting him to put up a great show. And it will be a good battle because eventually one of those X factors is going to cancel each other out. Because either Noor will get Saibran or Saibran will ensure nobody gets out to Noor. But for Netherlands, because Scott Edwards is taken, and rightly so. And Ackerman, I have a lot of temptation, but I just feel Ackerman versus spin is something that scares me. Ever since that sweep of Iftikhar Ahmed, I'm really baffled in my mind that how did he attempt that shot? But that's okay. It happens. So Samran it is for me with Noor Ahmed.
Yeah, my X factors are for Netherlands. I feel like going for Wesley Baresi, and one of the reasons is this because Rajesh commented it, and I felt that on a pitch which was slightly two paced, where ball was holding up at times, especially from certain lengths, he looked really good for his 41. I felt that he could have really taken the game away from Bangladesh in the first innings itself. I mean, had he batted, probably Netherlands would have gotten to 260, 270, which would have been way too much on that pitch. So I feel Wesley Baresi can continue from there. For Afghanistan, Noor and Rashid have been taken. So I feel, after how Fazal did in the last game, because I think the way he bowled in the last game was probably the best he's bowled from the Asia Cup. He's rarely looked like someone who's either gone too full sometimes to find that extra swing, and when he's not found that swing, he's gone shorter. I thought that his lengths were perfect in the last game, and once he got that wicket of Dimuth, it just allowed him to settle in a lot better, and then he could, in the end, also bowl a couple of his Yorkers, which he's used to, but you felt that he's lost that. So with Netherlands, weakness against left arm pace as well, I feel like Faruqi could be that guy, and it is a good possibility that Faruqi could get Baresi. So one of the X factors could cancel out each other, but it is what it is. Uh, we've discussed a lot about Afghanistan's bowling and Netherlands batting. In fact, Netherlands bowling as well. But what we have really not touched upon is Afghanistan's batting, which seems to be coming together in the last few games. Here we have the graphic of most runs for Afghanistan, with Shahidi being there with most runs, and you see five batters crossing 200 in 6 innings with decent averages. Now it's something that we've not really seen of some established teams. Now, Anirudh, we have spoken enough about the openers doing well, but what has really changed for the likes of Rahmat Shah or Shahidi? Because they've last two games they've chased, and they've chased while looking comfortable. It's not that you felt that the game was getting out of them. Is it the newfound intent, or is it what has also helped them is that they've batted in conditions where the pitch has got easier to bat, or it's just a combination of a lot of things coming together?
I mean, I just feel it was more a case of both Rahmat and Shahidi kind of putting their experience to use in both matches. I got that. And also, after that England match, after the victory in England match, it just feels like Afghanistan have this added self belief, self confidence, and that's reflecting on both fronts, not just their bowling but also the batting. You know, it's like they're growing with every match. After that England match, they thought that okay, we can actually win more matches. After the start they had in the Pakistan match, it felt like uh, Rahmat Shah and Shahidi both benefited that 100 plus run stand that Zadran and Gurbaz put up, and it almost felt like in the Sri Lanka match they knew that they were going to win. They were like, okay, this 240 is just because we are Afghanistan and we have not chased a lot in the past does not mean that this 240 is going to be tough for us. This 240 is like at least like 80, 90 below par, and we are going to treat it that way. And they chased it like that. But yeah, I mean, it's more about the composure. I feel Rahmat and Shahidi bring, because both are technically sound batters. You can't really say that they have a very noticeable weakness or flaw, and they are not kind of overwhelmed by the occasion or the pressure as well, because of how much they've played. They've been through a lot over the years, so that has, in my opinion, stood out about Afghanistan's batting, especially while chasing. You know?
Nikhil, you are in agreement over here?
Yeah, completely agree. I think most points very well put up in terms of the chases, the venues, the conditions, and how the total has helped them just not worry so much about how they want to go, and they've paced their innings very well. We discussed this something about in the Pakistan fixture that they went 10 overs without hitting a boundary. And you think that you will think every big nation also will look to make up suddenly that, oh, we haven't hit a boundary, let's look to really hit a few shots. But that hasn't happened. That shows a lot of trust in their own abilities, and it isn't even that they've won the games crawling or huffed and puffed their way to the chases. both those chases were very comprehensive chases. The Sri Lanka one even better. So I think that who better than Omarzai to close that out well. But this tells you how far they have come in terms of the planning, because there are a lot of dot balls which we have discussed in the past, but they have found a way because of the score. And today could just be another day that the total may dictate how they bat. So if the conditions remain tough, then today also could be a test, even if it's a low score of say around 200, 220.
Yeah. Moving on to the next section because we are just 2 minutes away from the first ball. Brutal's asking for the first inning score prediction. Nikhil, you could go first, then I'll come to Anirudh.
Yeah, I want a good game, but I feel it might be a tough deck to bat on. So I'm slightly torn between 224 and 258. So I'll go with 249.
249 is Nikhil's score. Anirudh, yours?
I'm gonna be a bit more adventurous. I'm gonna say 273.
Oh, maybe I stay closer to it.
My
273.
allegiance
Yeah.
is
Yeah, I was going to go for 255. This time I'm not going for the mean. I just had that number in my mind because I also feel with turn on offer, it may not get easier to, especially. So what has happened sometimes with Netherlands is that after the initial moisture or whatever help has gone out of the game, uh, you know, things have become easier for the batters to come in. I just think that may not happen today. So if they don't get a good start, it is also a possibility I feel wherein they could get out under 200. So we have to be on the lookout for that. Melville has come up with a very important question, which has been making the rounds since yesterday. He's asking important question: is it SRT or Smith statue out there? Anirudh.
Ste- Steven Peter Devriox Tendulkar. It's SPDX. SPDT, not SRT. Sorry.
But yeah, seriously, how could they not see that similarity in the faces? It does look like Steve Smith.
The visions are different, sir. They've always been.
Sorry.
The visions are different. They've always been.
Yeah, there's this is not just with regards to the statue, but it's a very philosophical line, and I
Yeah.
I, I don't think there could be a better note to end this preview show. So thanks to all of you who joined. Thanks to Nikhil. Thanks to Anirudh. We'll be back here for the review. If it's a good game, it should be around 9:30, 10. Let's hope for that because over the last couple of days, we've had to do our review shows fairly early. Let's hope today, the game stretches till the end. On that note, goodbye to all of you. Thank you for joining. Please do join us for the review show once again.
Cheers.